Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I had a really good conversation with 007 yesterday. It was pretty, pretty in depth about a lot of things that are going on in the world. If you missed it, you might want to check it out. Yeah. Well, anyway, so today we had to take a trip into town, drop by our attorneys, and I'm going to tell you about what happened at Walmart. Um, okay, so I go to get some shampoos and different things. I'm going to meet Doug up at the service counter, and he had told me last time he was in there to get some money orders um, to pay some bills that they had put his name and phone number in the computer, and um, it didn't record it. So when he went to get these money orders again, and he did not like that. So we went and get them again today. I came up there um, and saved this woman. I used to work for them. I know what it's like. And um, she had a horrible customer when I came up there. And I mean, Doug didn't feel sorry for her because she works there, but I felt sorry for her because she did work there. So anyway, in the meantime, he's like not wanting to give her the phone number, although he did. She's typing things in. Then it gets to the point where I don't know if she had to see some ID or what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. They wanted to see some ID in order to pay cash, pay them for a service, you know. And I said, okay, now I got the point. And so what I asked her are people that there's people I know that don't have ID like that, and they have their social security numbers. In other words, they're a citizen of the United States. Then she said that Doug wasn't the first one to bring this up, and that they were going to be getting a hold, or people have um, uh, broached this subject to the corporate office, and they're going to see what they say getting back to them. And it's like, yeah, yeah, because that poor woman. Good God. I mean, I know Doug was irritated. He's like, I'll just go get him over in Mora, another town across the way. But if we hadn't to go in there to get money orders, I bought shampoo and soaps and we got milk and whatever, we wouldn't have done our shopping there. So they would lose a lot. They'll lose a lot of business if Walmart doesn't care. They don't care, but yeah, I don't know. It's not a good idea. What if your kid is coming home from school and um, needs to get some money from like Western Union because they lost their bus money, or, I'm just saying, what if? This world's kind of getting out of line like that with their digital bullshit. And I think a lot of the younger generation, because I'll give you a for instance here, there's a channel called Rebel Call Channel. You might want to listen to this one. It's called The Real ID is Being Required in America by 2025 with the federal government. So this time next year, and you, in order to get on a flight, even if it's a domestic flight, and I think they're going to be doing it. I mean, I've gotten on buses where they wanted to know who I was. That was, oh, well, quite some time ago. So this stuff's really getting out of hand. So a lot of people are like, well, there's nothing wrong with it and everything. Yeah, but you're not believing me about the agendas. When you have everything transferred over to all your electronic stuff, that is when you are not going to have anything anymore and you're going to be entirely dependent upon this government. Now, if you're voting, I think I mentioned this the other day, which there isn't a candidate who wants to do this, but if you're also voting for somebody and you have property, if you own your own home, you better make sure that you're going to vote somebody in who wants to abide by the law that the government cannot seize your property. You better check out these laws that have been passed through the bills and have some things overturned before you vote anybody in. Otherwise, you're doing everybody a dirty by not realizing the papers you're signing when you do all that stuff. You better know the laws. You better know the bills. What are your rights? What aren't your rights? What have they tried to take away? Yeah. Well, I signed some papers today and have more to go into my attorney where I won't be paying any taxes because I'm going to have a cemetery here. I can either zone it in for a cemetery or a church, and being licensed, I can do either. So, yeah. You see what I mean? Sorry. For you of the tender hearts, you know what I just said anyway. So, yeah, there's ways. I mean, um, there's laws out there. You might as well use the laws to benefit yourself if you can, right? So, anyway, oh yeah, that's next. So yeah, it's our really cool cat. We have this oh, it's called the flower box where they sell floral arrangements and plants and whatever. I looked over there for we're going in the attorney's name. It's almost like Cabal, so Doug calls it Cabal Law Firm. Um, but right next door is this place called the Flower Box, and got out of the car, looked over there. Here's this thing. I thought it was a statue, and it was a Mexican hairless. It looked like it was mixed with Siamese because it had the markings. I walk up, I go, hello, and she goes, meow at me. And then I come back out and she wasn't there, so I looked and Doug goes, she's probably over there waiting for you. And I go, yeah, I think she is too. On the other side of this display case thing, I sensed her over there too. And I looked and there she was. She starts talking to me again. Oh, I gotta be quiet if my girl kitty. Cats are weird like that. They'll take things out on you. Yeah. So anyway, really, if they think you've been like a dog, if you have a dog that's sort of jealous, they'll smell you to see if you've been petting anybody else. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've had dogs and cats that do that. Then they get a little uppity with you, like they give you the cold shoulder, like you've been cheating on me, you know. So yeah, I told this cat I brought in as a stray because she was broken up. It's like I told her I'll be back later, and she looked at me like, "What do you mean you're gonna be back? I don't usually go a lot of places." So um, and she gave me the weirdest look because she's never really heard that. Well, she has, but not often, you know. So, like I'm retraining her or something, you know. But yeah. Anyway, cheers, everybody. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna get back to this digital ID thing a little bit here. I know a lot of youngsters don't believe that it is a part of the agenda to have total control over you like that. But when things go down, which they plan to do in the future, there it's called 20 was 2020. in 2030, these agendas by 2030, and they're ahead of schedule with the things that they've been implementing, you know. It's like I had reported on the quantum dye uh, IDs a long time ago and showed you what MIT had come up with, and it's like, this isn't a joke. This is exactly what they want to implement. And people that have tats to begin with, they're not going to see it as a major issue. And it's like everything was just orchestrated to make the younger people not realize what was happening. Like this became a fad. Well, was it a fad or was it orchestrated? What was that one other thing I was thinking? Was it a fad? Yeah, right. Um, Yeah, to really get us all dependent. That's what Rebel Call says too, get you dependent on your internet and then make it so unless you do what you're supposed to do with your body or whatever, you won't even be able to make a comment on here. And that is the control they want. It's no joke, absolutely no joke. Now, here's something for the Satanists. Just suppose that Satan and Christ had juxtapositions. And you're actually, if you're calling for the name of Jesus, you're talking to Satan and vice versa. Just a thought, because it's true, but I mean, I just thought I'd throw in a little truth there because it's true, but because of the language, and people don't even know. Some people are catching on. I'm trying more and more, trying to get out of the habit saying people don't know, in case you don't know, in case you missed it. Don't miss this digital ID thing. It's really important. I mean, like Doug said in there too, um, to this poor woman, uh, when we're spending all our money in, oh, I gotta choose my words wisely. Oh dear God, YouTube, you know, uh, they get all our money and can do, how do they cash their checks? How do they get money orders? And then citizens have problems. I mean, I can't even give you cash for a check so I can pay a bill because they want it all digital, and they want that control over us. I'm not giving up to them. And I hope that any of my offsprings or your offsprings or people going into the future, let them play their digital games. They like it. We have fake currency anyway. I mean, at least like people can put down China. At least their money's gold backed. At least they tell their citizens to invest in gold or invest in some kind of precious metal like silver or whatever. I mean, they care about them evidently enough to do that, don't they? What does our government tell us? Um, and by the way, did you know people like Bill Gates are actually buying change? Yeah, they're buying large quantities of actual coins because those are going to be the new commodity, real, tangible metal, not just fiat backed, or rather, yeah, that is, yeah. So not gold based, but actual tangible currency. And I think I just got that mixed up. I'm a little excited. I had to kind of chill here a minute when I first got home. We didn't just come straight home. We had drove around the lake when we left our property. Oh, it just rained really hard last night. It's been raining almost every single day. So I could hear the creek rushing out there. and I had a feeling it was going across the road, which it was. And I've walked through it like when it's been about that deep. So I knew what to do if I had encountered something like that on our road that, I mean, the people around here, we know the guy who built it and we helped build it up. And yeah, I mean, you know your own property is what I'm saying. So anyway, so we went to town, drove around the lake because there was some property of a friend's that Doug wanted to show me that he had helped clean up and different things. So, and a woman I used to know, her and her husband had owned that place. So I wanted to see it because it was all demolished. They tore the house down and stuff. He asked, "Do you want to go see it?" And I said, "Sure, let's do it." So we drove around, um, came back down a different way to our road than we had left and forgot that the creek was going across the road like a river. So I'm telling Doug, like, go over there. Don't go over there. Do not go over there. Just stay there. And we drove through with our Mustang convertible through the water. Was pretty cool. I loved it. But I do know where it gets thin or not on the shoulders. It's a dirt road. But yeah, they say turn around, don't drown. Well, I was only like almost a stone's. Well, we were up on our property. If we fell off the road, we would have been on our property. At least would have died at home, right? No, it's not deep enough to drown. Well, you could if you're have to be. Oh no, there'd have to be something drastically wrong if you could drown in that much water. I don't know, you know. But I'm sure there's other spots where if he had driven there, it's probably about 3 foot deep because it does get real deep. But by the culvert, the shoulder is softer there. So, yeah, we kept telling him it used to really be bad. It'd turn into a lake. And they put more culverts in there to alleviate some of the water. But I told Doug, you just watch these freaks talk about different water levels and everything and what it is and nothing's changed for I mean I can go up and down this same what we call radio road going around the different lakes and rivers here and the water level has not changed in over 40 years, the same exact. And they tried pulling that crap on me with a TV station up in Duluth, WDIO, and I wrote on there once to tell the truth. I said because the people around, I said go down there and document it. Take footage of what you know the water level to be and what it's always been. And we're going to prove these monsters wrong. And it's like I say, and this is a La Nino year where we have more warmth. And it takes like every 11 years to change back into a full blown El Nino where you have a little colder. So you have the 3, 4 year differences in where they're in exchanging into the next there's currents that run in the ocean and the jet streams and that determines what our weather is and they have patterns around the planet that have always been the same and it's documented so we can prove their lies it's evidence that they're lying to us about all that so just for the record. And back in 1970s, there was Life magazine covered Leonard Nimoy. You can look all this up with a park on up by Washington State, talking about the global freezing that was going to happen because of the pollution. It's always a scare tactic, and now it's like what Planet Nine and um, you know all their baloney. So basically, they want you to be a global citizen, one religion, and we all know what that is, and one currency, one government, one everything. They just love that number one because they really think that everybody is connected and everything is connected, and they couldn't be more mistaken. If they think of everything as an illusion and they're expendable, if they don't appreciate the gifts they have, if they actually looked at the truth and knew the truth of who they were as a soul inside this flesh bag crap that we're stuck in, this decaying, icky crap, they wouldn't deserve an eternal body anyway, you know. So that's my opinion. If they're that stupid that they would forfeit uh, a sweet life for eternity for this freaking hell forever, and then they're not going to get forever here anyway, that's what they deserve because they're selfish and foolish. Because God's talking to everybody's heart. Absolutely, not a doubt in my mind, you know. So I made a really good supper last night. I made a um, broccoli, cheddar, and American cheese soup. So I made broccoli cheese soup with just frozen bread dough, but so homemade bread and soup and some Hershey bar. So yeah, it was good stuff. It's all good. So at least I got some broccoli in me, you know. Oh no. Anyway, yeah, it was good. We have a local creamery in the state called Bongards, and they make American cheese, and they have a cheese that's low sodium, low fat, but it really melts good. It's super melty. It's not that fake stuff like Kraft. Be careful with anything with the name Kraft and Nabisco, PepsiCo, Pepsi, and Cola. They're all affiliated, and they all have um, particles of aborted fetal baby cells in it. You can look up the patents. I had shared all this information um, a long time ago, and all the companies with it was called like Semco that had distributed these different types of. There was like three major different kinds of poison type things that are bad for us, or making us into cannibals type of thing that is bad for us, that is actually in food we eat, like Lay's potato chips. I will never put my mouth on any kind of Lay's product ever again in my life, you know. There's a lot of things I just quit eating because I won't. Doug brought them home and I go, I'm not eating it, at all. And then another time he had forgotten, he brought them home. I go, you forgot, you know? So, yeah, really. Doritos, same thing, you know? Yeah, just the thought of it, think about it. Why do they have to have essence of baby, real human in anything? What? Because they say what? Like this geo and bioengineering is like you can produce more food and you can uh the word would be incorporate things into our blood and our system and our DNA that we normally wouldn't put in there. Why would they do that type of thing? What are they doing? What effect is that going to do to us? And if you're pregnant, what's it going to do to your offspring? There's some big concerns going on out in this world. Look up that list of things that have human baby fetal cell in it. That'll blow your mind. That's all the normal things like bye-bye Oreos. You like Oreos? I'm not big on them. I'm not for them at all. Now, at all. You can't make me eat one. If you tried to cram it down, I'd fight for my life just on principle. You know, aborted baby fetal cells in food. There's no reason for it. That's just downright gross, hideous. It's nefarious. It's satanic, for lack of a better term. You know, ick. You open up a Pepsi and pour it over ice and think that some little baby cells like what did you do? Squeeze it like a orange to get to extract or grow it in your lab? Ugh, gross. Yeah. And there are actual companies that have experimented with human cell growth, making human meat for consumption. This is a real thing. You can look that up too. There's no reason for it besides sick people in society. Do you want to live next door to somebody that's barbecuing human ribs, you know? Or have you over for a barbecue and you're having a butt roast, you know? No, thank you. How about a shoulder roast, you know? Man, these people are beyond retarded and sick, you know. Like I say, there's no reason for it besides being dark forest led. So yeah, read your labels. I did a thing on them worms and cicadas and crickets and whatnot, and bugs have their own bugs, and some bacteriums aren't killed with heat, and you know, and that stuff's in just about everything. I love like Cheetos, not anymore. It's got crickets in it. No, thank you. If I want to eat crickets with cheese on it, I'll just go get some of my own, you know. And I've heard of people that, like Hamish from High Frequency Tribe, had gone to like Mexico and ate um, hot and spicy crickets, and he said they weren't too bad. But the thing is, and this is no joke, they have a fluke that cannot be killed by heat. A cricket carries its own parasite, and it's related to the tapeworm, only it's little, you know? This is a type of thing I studied because to be able to report on it, you know. I guess the people that heard me might have took the information and ran with it, but and other people are doing the same thing. We're digging down to the truth as deep as we can get, no matter what it takes or who it offends. That's what telling the truth is all about. If you find something out that you thought was true all your life and you can no longer accept it as true, you're obligated to your own soul and everybody else to fess up to that fact, no matter what it takes. You could even lose family over it if you were going to say, look, this is the right thing to do, whether you like me or not. And there I go. That's me. That's what I'm all about, is making sure people know just how you are being attacked. This is not a joke. This is all absolutely real. There's no reason on God's green earth that a plane like Lufthansa, a German company, making contracts with American Airlines in the United States and other airlines around the world to dump some kind of pollution and toxin. They're waste products is what it is. They're big airline company that also is affiliated with China, uh, Germany, and Russia. Imagine that. And Lufthansa means red skies. It's not coincidence, you know, and you can look that up. I reported on that twice. I've been trying to tell people, look, our own government is contracting this through another country, mainly Germany, like German Nazi scientists come over to America, and these are the people that are developing drugs for big pharma in our country. Like there's not a connection. Yeah, there is. So, yeah, it's a big deal, people. Everything that's going on. And the more people that know about it, and the more we can tell each other about the things that are true, that are really happening, the better off we're all going to be. I saw a meme the other day. It said something like 300 million people in the United States have firearms, and we have over 3 trillion rounds of ammunition. Well, there's a lot more than that. Um, that's only what they know about. There's people that have guns that never had to be registered because it was even like, what about somebody that has something that's Civil War era or antique shotgun or different things that you see what I mean? There's things that are just like freaking radical. And there's other things. There's people like Doug and I that could, I'm just saying, this is a truth that I could just take like a small propane tank and a wire and a battery, and you would touch my fence and it'd blow a hole in the road. And there's other things. There's other ways to do that too. But I'm just saying there's people with enough ingenuity that these people that are calling for people to get rid of their firearms, the legal gun owners are not the people that need to be. It's the people that I mean, like I say, I could lighters are very sharp. This part of a lighter will slice somebody's throat right open. And we all know I could stick you in the third eye. I could stick you in your eye with a plastic spoon, and you would not be the same person I was after you were after I did that to you, if you see what I mean. So, yeah. Like I told this one chick that was trying to intimidate me one time at my house. It was some people that were from like M13, Hispanic, trying to come up and see where they can test the waters in this area. And I told her, I said, shit, person could, this did kind of scare her, but I leaned forward. I said, because she wanted to learn martial arts. And I said, hey, you could take somebody out with a Twinkie. And I went like that towards her. And she's like, well, maybe I don't want to learn martial arts from this woman. So, yeah, but it is true. You could kill somebody with a Twinkie. Oh, I guarantee it. Wrapped or unwrapped. Either way. How about a cupcake? That'd be worse, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. So yeah, got a little bit of noise. Not a big deal. I'm about ready to go anyway. So um, yeah, I have to vacuum my floors. They're just screaming at me. So yeah, it's been so muddy around here, even with the porch and mats and everything else. There's no way keeping everything out. It's impossible. I'm sure people we know by the lake, they know what that's like too. Every night when I lived by the lake, I had sand in my bed. It didn't matter. Um, it didn't matter. Fresh sheets. And how do you climb into a fresh bed, a clean floor, and there's sand in it still? It just didn't make any sense, but it was a fact of life. Um, I have no clue. Still don't know for sure, you know, how that happens, but it did. I had to brush my bed out every night, even if the sheets were clean. It didn't matter, you know. So that's weird, but it's true. Just like living here, it's like a lot of water, a lot of springs, ponds, creek, everything. It's just a lot of. It's a muddy season this season, so that's the way it is. Well, I'm gonna get this uploaded. Consider listening to that Rebel Call channel. He's got other channels too, trying to keep people updated on this real ID thing, because eventually they're not going to let you even want to leave the state in your own vehicle, and that is one of their goals. This is a true thing. I am not fabricating fairy tales to put any fear into anybody. I'm telling you the truth so you can try and stop some of these things that they're trying to force us into. So, yeah. Unless you were one of them that just was obedient and put your little masky mask on, then there's not much I can say to you because you're compliant. And if you don't have to worry about offsprings in the future, um, living in a dystopian type world, then it's not your concern. But I would be concerned anyway. I was concerned before I had kids, so nobody really has an excuse. So, all right, everybody, I appreciate you joining me. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. I still have them beautiful waves in my hair, in my hair, in my head. Um, yeah, I do miss living at the lake, but I don't know. I might get something someday, a little place where I want to be. I don't know. It was good to come home today, though. That town stuff's crazy. So, all right. Talk to you tomorrow.